Shanti Shanti.
I will club some of the questions because they are similar, so in answering many of them will be answered. How can we get rid of negative thoughts fully while being at home, in household or at office? Give us some small steps by which there will be no chance of any type of negative thoughts. Negative thoughts should not crop at all in our minds. Now, to really reply, the name is not there, we must know what kind of negative thought. It will depend on that. The real answer will depend on that, because negative thoughts has become a very common term for so many kinds of thoughts. But I can reply in general that any such treatment we need to change ourselves, I have said earlier also, we should always focus on the causal level. That is, if we want to change the thoughts, then we have to look into where from these thoughts are arising. What is my mindset which is giving rise to these thoughts? For example, I have said earlier also, when we want to change our behavior, we have to look into the cause of the behavior, that is the thoughts. Suppose we are given to speaking harshly to somebody or hurting others, then every time we come up with the hurting behavior, egoistic behavior or harsh behavior, we think that, oh, today again I have missed, I should not do it. But we go on thinking like that, but we again and again commit that same mistake. Because our focus is on the effect. Whenever any correction is needed in the effect, we have to look into the causal level, because after the effect has come, we cannot correct it. So in correcting behavior which we don't like to have, we have to look into the cause, means what are the thoughts which is giving rise to such behavior. If I have critical, too much of blaming thoughts, hurting thoughts, naturally it will end up in sometimes, because we cannot control this outer control, subduing the thoughts is not the ideal condition. Sometimes in some delicate situation it will come out and we will hurt people, no doubt about it. So it is better to look into the thoughts and correct those hurting thoughts, replace them with a loving thought, expanded thought, scriptural thoughts, etc. There is no other way. If we think that any other way the behavior can be corrected, it cannot be. The artificial tricks do not work. That is why so much of consultancy is going on all around in the professional field. But any consultant also, for solving his problem, he has to get another consultant, because in his case he is not able to apply, because he has not changed his own mind. He can lecture well, he can give the tricks to others, but no tricks will work in his own case, because he has not treated his mind. That we should know very well. So we have to work in the causal level. Now, why the negative thoughts are coming? We have to find out what kind of negative thoughts, why are they coming? And according to that, we have to apply the treatment. In many cases, today somebody was saying that it is only thoughts about anybody going out, say it is husband or wife or children, that has some accident happened or anything like that. Always fearing some calamities and all. This perhaps is a common disease with people, and these are called negative thoughts. Some people call it negative thoughts. It could be some critical thoughts about others also which are negative, or some fear of losing something, facing something, all those things. Actually, it will have to be specific. One has to be specific. What are the thoughts? According to that should be the treatment. But the general is that when it has become almost like a disease, that you are fearful, you want to get rid of the negative thoughts. You are fearful of the negative thoughts occupying you. In such cases, there is a way. Once Ma had written to Baba about it. Baba replied that don't fight with the thoughts. Don't fight with the negative thoughts or the wrong thoughts when they are coming. In Bengali he had written, ask them to go bandhu bhabe, shatru bhabe nahe. Shatru bhave noy, bandhu bhave. That means ask the negative thoughts to leave you, but ask in a friendly way, not considering it to be the enemy. That is, don't fight back with the thoughts. Oh, again that thought is coming, again that is coming. If you are fearful of being overpowered by the thought, then you have already accepted the defeat. That you must understand. When we are fearful of again getting haunted by the thought, it means I have accepted defeat. I am fearful of that. That means I am at a lower pedestal. That is at a higher pedestal. In such a case, those thoughts will come with redoubled force. They will not leave us. They will come with redoubled force. So the first thing is to get rid of the fear of having the negative thoughts. That is the first step. So that I am not at a lower pedestal. Let them come. I will welcome them. I am not fearful of them. Let the negative thoughts come. I will welcome them. And I will disallow them or dissuade them in a friendly way, not in a frightful way or in an inimical way. That means I am working from a higher pedestal. I have already accepted, yes, I am not fearful about having negative thoughts. Let me have hundreds of negative thoughts. How does it matter? I will not act on them. Let them come more and more. I am thinking only my husband is dying. Let me think that my child is also dying. Another accident, all of us are dying. Let us think. Bring in those thoughts and face them. And they will be. Then I can work on it from a higher pedestal. Now Swamiji has often given a treatment suggested a method to many, and it has been found to be greatly effective. In the case where it becomes almost like a disease, that people are haunted by this, he says that in the morning you take your bath, finish everything, little tea you can take, tea or biscuit or so, don't take heavy breakfast or so, and sit closing the door and deliberately bring in all the negative thoughts. It was told to a lady who had to see her child's dead body suddenly in the morgue. It was a shock. Suddenly she was suddenly shown the dead body taken by the police, and in the morgue they showed the dead body. So she had a shock, and she was completely overwhelmed with that. She was not able to come out. So somebody suggested that you bring in all those thoughts, the visions, the pictures, everything deliberately. Normally you are trying to do something and the thoughts are coming to you and occupying you. So they are defeating you. In this case you bring them deliberately. So there is no question of undergoing any defeat. And you allow them to work in your system only without hurting yourself. You can cry, you can wail, you can shout, you can do anything to react to the situation. But don't hurt yourself, that's all. Do it for about half an hour or so, then come out and wash your face. If possible, you do it more, do it twice a day also, you can do. And do it for at least 7 to 10 days. Now this lady practiced it only for 4 days and she said that I am relieved. Now after that also so many people have been told about different situations to do this practice, and the result has been very good. So one can do the basic technique here is the same, that generally we are scared of being overcome by the thoughts. That fear has to be removed, and we deliberately we go to a higher pedestal, we deliberately bring them, or we allow them to come, welcome them, and then treat them with a friendly manner. And so far you have been coming, I have been giving indulgence to you also, but now I no longer like to host you anymore, harbor you anymore. Please leave me. Like that, in a friendly manner if you do, then it will work. Now there are so many other kinds of negative thoughts also, which also we have come across, where generally it comes to the self-centered people more. Those who are very self-centered, always occupied with what will people think about me, how people, whether they are speaking to me lovingly, appreciatingly, whether they are appreciating me, whether they are abusing me, so many things. Their thoughts are moving around their own image, how they are in the society and all that. In such cases, they are too much haunted by any negative thoughts you say. The other negative thoughts I have already told, but there are other negative thoughts which make them, it is called almost like a narcissistic complex, narcissus complex. That means Narcissus was a person who was so self-centered that finally he got drowned. Seeing his image, he got drowned in that water. That means they create an image about themselves and always they remain in that cocoon of thinking about themselves. It might be in a greater degree or lesser degree true of many people. So our purpose, the remedy lies in thinking about others. Why so much think about yourself? Your life will go in a manner it will go. But we should try to think of others, do for others, etc. That is a very good treatment for the mind. The mind will become very liberal and it will not host any negative thoughts at all. When we are thinking of others, go and help others. One lady we know who lost her husband very young age. Only one son he had, just the son was born. The husband was in military and after the Pakistan war also he died. Initially the lady was subdued by that. Then she thought that in military there are so many wives are becoming widow everywhere. Why should I worry about me? Let me go and meet such ladies and give them some strength. She did not have the strength, but she started going to people and giving them courage, talking to them well and all, and she got rid of her own trouble fully. And she became a great help to the other widows of military widows. So there can be this kind of various ways of, first the basic point in all these things is to win over not to get defeated by the negative thoughts, but to take a higher pedestal from where he can treat. So he wanted steps by which we can easily get rid of this. The steps is first of all to discover what are the negative thoughts and what are causing them. We have to apply the treatment there. For official work situations, there are persons who adopt unfair means to please the boss and others. What is the duty of an honest person in such occasion? Should one ignore the unfair advances of others or stand up and raise the issue? When one raises issues, one gets agitated and lose peace. Now, this is again a... How do you know that the other person has got the promotion by unfair means? It is my idea that he has got by unfair means. Am I right in judging like that? That has to be understood first of all. Many cases we have found our judgment is wrong. I have seen all the PhD research scholars always blame their guide. That the guide does not look after the student properly, he is doing. But the guide knows when to look after and how much to do. He wants the student to work hard so that he becomes proper. In most of the cases I have found this allegation against the guide is wrong. And I am a person who has worked without the guide for 4 years. When I joined PhD, within 6 months my guide went to Canada and he wanted me also to join him, but it did not take place. I didn't get the visa. He gave an appointment, but the Canadian High Commission did not allow me. So I had to work alone. Once in a year, sometimes he used to come, and 2-3 days. In that, so many people will be there, the department, so many meetings will be there. So I would get perhaps 1 hour of the time per year. And I am so grateful to my guide because wherever the right insight had to be given, in 3 occasions he had given that insight, which made the problem solved in a very good manner. Only in 4 years, 3 insights he had given, which were very crucial. It would not have struck me at all, perhaps. I don't know. So I was always very grateful. I never complained that he is not giving me time and he has gone over to Canada. And those days, Skype and all those things were not there. We were even not writing letters also. Nothing was there. So often our judgment is not right. Not only that, even if our judgment is right, giving promotion is the prerogative of the boss or the owner. It is not we to decide whether the promotion will be given or not. Suppose I work very good, but the promotion is depending on the decision of my higher up or the owner of the factory or whoever. So often we make wrong conclusions and wrong ideas in ourselves that I am not given promotion, now I am always neglected, others are going. If there is a genuine issue, then we can always talk to the boss. Now there, I would always suggest that any problem in life, whether it is in office, at home, in the ashram, in a center like this, the only solution is transparency. That is, talk openly, speak open your mind, but not disowning the person to whom I am speaking. The boss, I have to own him first of all. If we first initiate the talk with a critical attitude towards the boss, then it is gone. I must have faith in him. Maybe he is not right. Even then I must have faith in him while talking that, sir, I believe I am thinking about the welfare of the institution also. And the promotion should be for the right people in the right time. And according to that, I am suggesting, I felt like this, I am opening before you. If you feel that I am wrong in my thoughts, please correct me. I just want to know what is the real situation. According to my thought, it is so. And if I carry on with this thought, I may not be able to give my best output because my mind is already polluted by this. Would you like me to work better and for the betterment of the institution? I would like to have a clarity regarding this. There are ways of presenting it with enough of humility, and more important is loving the person or owning up the person. That we seldom do. Whether it is an employee or a boss, we don't own up. That is the main trouble. If we do it, then solution will generally come up. A new horizon will be opened. Other than that also, when it is certain that there is something wrong, whether you will raise the issue or not, it depends on your courage. It may not be this promotion. There can be so many other issues in the... When I was in IIT Kharagpur, we had a great issue regarding a project. And I had to raise the issue with the director, knowing that my service might be terminated. But I stood to it without fighting or without raising my voice also. I took up the issue, and initially all other lecturers also said, professors said that they will be with us because it was definitely wrong, absolutely wrong. The project proposal was prepared by us and it was completely overruled and topsy-turvy. So there is no point in carrying on with the proposal. It was because of some selfish, personal, corrupt interest. So I was not worried about my job because before that, long before that also, everywhere I have fought, from school onwards, school, college, teaching in the college, university. University I fought against our head of the department. And finally in IIT also I had to fight against the director. So I could do it because I never had any problem, fear of losing my job or failing in the exam. If the head of the department fails me in the examination, penalizes me, I was ready to take it. But I was sure that the issue was honest issue. It was not a selfish interest. It was for the general interest of the department or the office or the institution. So it depends on how much. Even there also I say that suppose I had some family burden, that I have to look after my family and I cannot, if I am terminated, I will be in great trouble. Then perhaps I would not have fought. That courage would not have been, even if the courage is there, the situation would not have allowed me. I did not have any such burden or anything which could hold me. Particularly in IIT when it happened, I was already ready to leave, even before that also. It took another 3-4 years, but I was always ready to leave. When I went to IIT, I was ready to leave. So there was no problem of getting the service getting terminated or so. But nobody terminated me. Rather, previously the director was our guide also in a way in the project. Later on I have found always when we are walking on the corridor, crossing each other, the director would look down. He became so weak inside that he could not look at my face. Eye to eye, she was not able to take, the director. And I was nobody there. Absolutely nobody. So if we have the honest courage and all, it depends on us how much we can raise the issue or fight. But generally we should not fight for selfish interest. If it is an issue also, maybe my promotion has not been given, but I am fighting for the cause of the institution, for the wrong done to us. Then the second point is losing peace. Yes, peace will be lost. That you have to accept. You will fight for the social cause or you will fight for righteousness and all. and your peace will not be disturbed. This cannot be had. But you have to find your peace in the non-peaceful situation also. That is what we do in the ashram. You know that Swamiji has been fighting so many social causes, the religious, the derogatory religious practices. We have been fighting in the court and otherwise also the hill cutting, the earth mafia. They are very strong there. There is a lot of danger also. But we have called the police, got them arrested. They have come to the ashram in big group, threatened us that they will throw us out of the place. All these things we have faced. So will it not interfere with the peace of the ashram? It is, but I don't think our ashram peace was ever interfered with. Because in that non-peaceful situation itself, we have to find out. Because we are not doing it for our personal purpose or anything. We felt that it is absolutely wrong to allow such things to happen when we are seeing around us the hills are being cut and there is a lot of mafia practices involved in that. If we had the time and if we had the courage, we could. So we have fought. Now perhaps even if so much of cutting is there, we cannot take up so much of movement because we don't have time. We don't have the time to spend on it. Those days we could run from the collector to the police officer and all. The whole day I would be moving around, meeting the superintendent, meeting the collector. That was my duty, so to say. Then running to the newspaper offices, giving them statements so that the whole movement becomes very powerful. All those things we are doing. Now we don't have time to do that also. So what we do, even a few months ago also hill cutting was going on. So I was very reluctant, but Swamiji put some force, and now Satishji is there, one who comes from Bangalore in the ashram. He is also quite courageous about it. So we finally asked Satishji to take it up. So he reported to the collector. Actually, we have one in the High Court, and it was banned. So now we have the High Court judgment. With that we can do. It's a green court, it is called. They gave the judgment fully in our favor. We have at least 5-6 petitions running in the Supreme Court and High Court. So is it not peace is disturbed? It is not disturbed. We have found our peace in this disturbed situation. And whenever it is within our capability, we fight. Not peace, but we are finding harmony in that. We have to accept the non-peaceful situation. It is not exactly peace what you mean. It is harmony. When that is our... Generally we look for always peace. For that we compromise various other situations. When the importance and the value of the society, that is evaluation of the value of the society becomes more prominent, not to fight for it is more unpeaceful than to fight and have some personal disturbances of running around and non-peaceful situation. I don't know whether I am clear. That is when the value deterioration that works on our mind so much that unless people are protesting, then everywhere it will thrive, everywhere it will happen. So it is the sense of duty, sense of not duty, sense of welfare for the society. It works on our mind more, that for that we are ready to sacrifice our usual outer peace, so to say. But our mind generally does not get disturbed by that. When we are thinking of the case, maybe sometimes the whole night I will not sleep also. Swamiji also is like that. He will design lying on the chair. Sleep will not come. But we are not bothered about not sleeping for 1 or 2 days. Even for our center also sometimes I have sleepless nights. But we are not bothered about it because that occupies the mind. So throughout we are occupied with that thought. But we are not bothered by that. This is the getting harmonization, harmonizing with any situation. That is the ultimate of spirituality. We generally look for meditational peace because otherwise in the life we are not able to find peace. You stop meditating when you are not bothered by whatever thoughts you are carrying. See, these thoughts will not disturb us because they are all good thoughts. It is not selfish reason that we are doing. So we are very comfortable with such thoughts. Although apparently they may not be peaceful thoughts or say some unpleasant situations are involved. But we don't want to run away from there and get into meditation even. We are very comfortable with such thoughts when they are really good. Harmonizing with any situation, whether it is peaceful or non-peaceful. It is an aspiration for a higher value, I would like to say. See, I will give you some real example. I have written about it in Great Association also in the first or second issue of that. When second time we came to the ashram as a visitor, 1986 December. When we had visited the ashram, something happened in the village. A lady got pregnant who was working in the ashram. And it was found that the culprit is next door neighbor or so. Everybody knew about it, that the person is involved, but he refused to marry the girl. They were involved, everybody knew, but he refused to marry the girl. Swamiji felt that it is very dishonest on his part, that he has made the girl pregnant and it is in a village. He should marry the girl if the girl is agreed to marry him. Otherwise, something has to be done about it. So we did not know anything. We were standing, I still remember the scene that on the veranda, we had the old ashram 2-level veranda. We were standing here, say about 30 feet away from Swamiji, and Swamiji was here. And just outside the parapet of the veranda, about 10, 12 quite thug-like people, I mean the local loafers, you can say, are the people who are miscreants, sort of a thing. They were standing there. Seeing them also, people will be a little fearful or apprehensive. And Swamiji was shouting at them in Malayalam, so we were not able to understand, but I could understand that he is shouting at them very strongly, very intensely, taking his towel, throwing it on the parapet, running here, there, and speaking very loudly to them. I was quiet, I was looking at Swamiji, what is happening? Suddenly, Swamiji looked at my face and came running to me. Said, don't get worried. I am trying to put some sense in their mind. Again he ran there and started shouting at them. So I was lost in my thought that what is this happening? Normally, even if we see these people on the road, we will try to avoid and go away from there. Now, here is, for us people who are householder, those days, I was not yet a sannyasin. A householder also would not like to interact with such a person. Now, here is a saint who is living a peaceful life in a cottage, in an ashram. He has called these people particularly to thrash them out, to give them a sense. And these people have come in a big team also. And Swamiji is speaking in this manner. They can do anything actually. People will be normally fearful about it also. What is it that making Swamiji speak like that? So I was thinking this is the meaning of going beyond likes and dislikes. It was an altogether new horizon opening before me. Because before that I had done enough of meditational sadhana, I knew the scriptures enough, the knowledge part, everything was there. I did not have much sadhana to do before that. But coming to the ashram, visiting the ashram, I understood that if at all I come to the ashram, my sadhana will be to get rid of to go beyond the likes and dislikes. How to transcend? Because remaining a household, we will never know what is the meaning of transcending likes and dislikes. Only when we leave the household we understand, because in the ashram all kinds of people will come. Whether you like or dislike, you have to welcome them, you have to behave with them. Not that you will bring in the criminals to your house, but you have to interact with them with the impersonality and impartiality of a saint. That itself is not possible unless we go beyond likes and dislikes. So seeing Swamiji's behavior that day, I have written about it in a great association. It was a great horizon opening before me that this is my sadhana, that we would have avoided it. What to speak of a saint who is always speaking about spirituality and peaceful life? How can he take it up like this, calling these people and speaking to them without any fear like this?